Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Gore here, and we are live once again, and we are going to have ourselves a good time tonight. We've got some giveaways. We got Clown Hammer is in the already in the group here. What's going on, Clown Hammer? That's a heck of a name via YouTube. We're going to get this show started tonight. Of course, like we do every night, always love to talk about how you can follow us. Definitely make sure, if you guys are new to KastKing and following on social media, check us out. We've got KastKing USA on TikTok, KastKing USA, and KastKing Community on Instagram. Of course, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you already know how to find us. But it's just Normal KastKing on Facebook and Normal KastKing on YouTube. Make sure you give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, smash however it works on whatever platform you're on. And then, of course, start tagging some friends. The more people we get in here, the more we can hook the people up. Who do we got in here right now? We got Joshua Cruz. What's going on? Clown Hammer is back in here. How you doing, Clown Hammer? Jason Prazer, how you doing? We got Marlon. We got Matt. Catman Jones. What's going on, guys? Hey, we just recently had a big convention. It was a cat convention, recently, and it was a really good showing. They had a heck of a showing at that catfishing convention, sold out of Kong rods. We had Rover reels flying off the shelves, caps and things like that. It was a great turnout, pretty much a sold out show. And the KastKing crew at that cat convention did wonders. Big shout out to the KastKing crew for that show. And of course, we've got some other shows popping off over the next couple weeks. And especially in March. March is going to be a busy month for us, but it's going to be fun. We got John Miller in the house. Who else we got in here? Scott Hooten, just a hooting his way up. What up? Captain Brian Box, former guest of the recent shows so far this year. How you doing, Brian? Hope to see you soon. Scott Sipling, what's going on? We got Mark Whitworth. How's it going, Mark? So it's going to be cool. What's going on, Mike Hudson? How are you? Finally warm enough for fishing here in Indiana. Managed to land a largemouth bass, land a 3-pound, I would assume that's 3-pound largemouth bass after work today. Felt good to get a line wet. Dude, you're doing better than I am. You went fishing after work today? Kudos to you. I tell you what, guys, I was out filming some media work this weekend on some new products we got coming from KastKing that you guys are going to love when they actually launch and hit. And I tell you what, it was a grind. It was a grind on my Arizona lakes. We had a cold front move through last week on Wednesday and Thursday, and we got some snow and some rain. And man, it was just kind of some ugly conditions and got really cold in Arizona. And the fish weren't biting great in my lake to begin with, but this only made it worse. So this weekend when me and the old human forklift were up there doing our media work, man, we had to work for it. The water temperatures were coming up every day. And by Sunday afternoon, we started getting on a little bit of a different bite there. We got our footage we needed, and it's going to be kind of a good video when it comes out there. You guys will like it. Plus those products that are coming, you guys are going to love. So speaking of products, guys, let me go ahead and let you guys know we had some giveaways last week. So some of the things that we were giving away, and this was in our giveaway via YouTube and Facebook on this live show. So ladies and gentlemen, like I say, if you don't follow us on TikTok, on Instagram, here on Facebook, or here on YouTube, you guys really got to, because when we go live, such as myself, Nikki, Scott, or any of the other KastKing crew from some of the conventions and the shows or just our live shows, plus we're always doing weekly and monthly promotions, and a lot of times there's giveaways, always discounts and cool things like that. You miss out. But last week's show, we did a giveaway where you could get the new KastKing fishing pliers or the lip gripper. You could get the KastKing new fillet knife, which is a killer setup. Or you could win the new KastKing line spooler, which is the calibrate that also helps you calibrate how much line you're actually installing and putting onto your line on your rods and reels. Now, with this, these are some of the giveaways. These are products that you guys can jump on Amazon.com or wherever you love to buy from, KastKing.com, and pick these up. Plus, if you're going to shop Amazon, always look for those discounts, especially those coupon boxes that you can click on, save even more money, guys. It's the way to go. But these guys are awesome. We're giving these away. I'm going to announce the winners to these in a moment. But if you guys are in the market to keep your hands out of them toothy critters, this is a definite way to go. Super easy to open, and once it latches, you can't hardly pull your hand out of there. It starts clamping down even better. So these are great for fish that you don't want to touch. If there's ew and you don't want to touch them, fantastic. Or if you're afraid of getting bit by it, this is a great option for you right here. So check that out. Man, I got a light glare going on here on my on my screen there. Hopefully we can get rid of that as the show goes on in the sunsets. That's different time changing here in Arizona. Let me fix that here in a minute. Sorry, guys. All right. That's better. Sorry about that. The sun actually started rotating, and as the days are getting longer, this is the first time in the first show I've had where it's actually affected me and glared on my screen there. Sorry. All right. So the next thing that you guys could get your hands on is, check this out. This is that new KastKing fillet knife right here. That guy is awesome. I love our fillet knives, but I love this one especially now because of that little trigger finger, and it's got a really hard, not uncomfortable hard, but just the shape it makes is a really aggressive angle that locks your finger in there. Is going to make total blade control even better when you guys are using it for very slippery cutting, like filleting fish, catfish, things like that, or just simply working vegetables. So you got total control. And of course, pliers come in that kit. So let me go ahead and announce those winners, guys. If you guys did not win, you can pick those products up on KastKing.com, Amazon.com, or some of your favorite retailers that you like to shop from that sell the KastKing prizes. Now, guys, these are our winners right here. So our winner via Facebook, our lucky winner, does the line counter come in lime green like no, as far as I know, it only is in orange and black. And it may be something that changes, but as far as I know, it only comes in lime green. And actually, I could double check that for you here soon and get back with you, or you could just double check on the website, your call. But our Facebook winner for the giveaway, now you guys that do win get your choice of any of those 3 items in any color that is currently available that they are offered in. So our Facebook winner is Tori Satter. Congratulations, Tori. You're a lucky winner for Facebook. Hit me up on Instant Messenger, my personal Instant Messenger, AJ Gore. I'll get all your information, verify that it's you, and make sure that you get your product that you pick out, whether it's the fillet knife, the pliers with the fish gripper, or the line spooler that is also calibrates the amount of line. And our YouTube winner is Friendliest Catch. Now, it looks like I misspelled it, but that is not true. That is how it is spelled on YouTube. So Friendliest Catch or Friendliest Catch, if that is you and you are the owner of that page, you will need to contact me on Facebook's Instant Messenger and logged into your YouTube account and prove to me that you are Friendliest Catch, and we'll get you dialed in on your preference, whether it's the pliers, the calibrate, or the fillet knife that just recently dropped from KastKing. So cool. Let's go. Hey, I see Friendliest Catch is in the comment section. So yeah, you won. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Glad to have you here. All right, let's see who else is in here. Uncle Yukon, darn, I want lime green. We got Adam Robinson in the house. Guys, if you guys have any questions, comments for me in the comment section, please let me know. I will try to answer them. This is not the longest show in the world tonight, but I would love to take some comments and questions. And actually, I'll go ahead and throw it out there. Spring fishing is around the corner. Spring fishing is around the corner. So if you guys have any questions you may want to ask me on things that I do when it comes to springtime fishing and how I'm going to seek them out and catch them, let me know in the comments. If you have any comments on some of the different techniques that you guys love to do in spring fishing, doesn't matter where in the world you're at, let me know. I may just display them on the screen for you. So, all right. Now, let's move along before we get to posting all that stuff. We got some really cool stuff to show you. KastKing is always hooking people up, whether it's giveaways. We have people that would love to be fans, buy the products, and then eventually start working their way up and get noticed and added to the KastKing brand ambassador world. That's always a fun thing and a great position to get into. But pros, local pros, nationwide pros, and pros in the highest levels, such as Brent Chapman and Cliff Crochet. And we're always looking at new pros, and there's always something on the burner. Well, KastKing has done that recently and just added a new slew of pros to the roster. So we've got the Pro Team 2022. These are some of the new guys that have been added to our Pro Team roster. Of course, we still have Cliff Crochet and Britt Chapman on that list, but we've got some new guys on there, some new members. So we love adding, men and women to our pro staff. We have a ton of people on our pro staff, that men and women alike, that are really putting out some great things and some great stuff. Not to mention the gentleman that we just had as a guest last weekend, Robert Branna. He went out there, he won an MLF tournament in Lake Okeechobee, and of all lakes, Lake Okeechobee, that's a hard lake, such competition, monsters to be caught out there. But he went out there, grounded out, and won on Lake Okeechobee using the Mega Jaws series reels that he's been using for years. Loves them. Bought them out of his own pocket. Went out there and has been fishing MLF tournaments and doing very well, and won himself a tournament. And you know what? KastKing noticed, oh my gosh, here's this, this Robert guy that's just out there doing great, and he just won a big MLF tournament, and he's using our gear. We got to get a hold of this guy. And we did. We signed him, and we have him on the show last week. So, Robert, I know I congratulated you last week, but I want to also give you another shout out and say congratulations and welcome to the team once again. He's on our pro team roster, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do for us and what you've got coming in the coming years. So next on that roster, we have a gentleman, actually two gentlemen. These guys, it's pretty cool. They were actually supposed to be on my show for tonight, but one of them has a nephew who is got a state championship game going on tonight. And of course, he couldn't miss it. Promised him if they made it, he would go. So you know what? Taking care of our youth and supporting our youth is so important, whether it's from high school sports, the world of fishing, hunting, or just flat out homework, or just, mentoring. You got to take care of the youth. So, who are we to frown on rescheduling? So we're more than happy to do that. We hope that he does really well, and we hope he enjoys that game tonight. But that's Mr. Ross Rhodes and Jake Chauncey. These two gentlemen are going to be joining the KastKing roster with actually some really cool things going on in their world. They're going to be fishing a new series of tournaments through the National Professional Fishing League. So they are actually going to be representing KastKing on that new National Professional Fishing League. And this is a new league that is doing some really great things. And it's a big league. It's up there with like the Bassmaster Elites, FLW kind of stuff, MLF. That new National Professional Fishing League is definitely a really impressive league. So both of these gentlemen have very, very seasoned reputations in fishing FLWs, Bassmaster Opens, things to that nature. And we're hoping to see them do very well in the National Pro Fishing Leagues that they are on. And like I said, these guys are actually, I don't know if I said it, but they're two best friends. They're partners in this association. They fish a lot of the tournaments together. So it's pretty cool. So you got kind of a 2-for-1 thing going on right there. And who doesn't love a good twofer? So Jake Chauncey and Ross Rhodes, welcome to the team. Guys, you can definitely look forward to seeing these guys on my live show next Tuesday night. So the next person to announce coming on the team is rounding out the new additions to the team, just like it says in the press release, Chad Halverson, and he is up in Washington and fishes NWT. And of course, as you can see, he's catching some monster fish out there. He loves competing, and we're actually looking to see what he can do in the walleye tournament stuff. So Dylan Nussbaum better look out, because he's got himself some competition that he's going to have to compete against, and he's on the same team. But you know what? Who doesn't love a little bit of friendly competition? I can promise you right now, Jake Chauncey and Ross Rhodes, even though they're team members, they probably compete against each other a lot of times in a lot of different ways. There's always some friendly competition there. And Chad and Dylan are going to be more than happy to compete against each other and put the K on the top of that W winner circle as much as possible. So we look forward to seeing what these guys are going to present for us in the 2022 season and maybe into 2023. So Chad, kudos to you. Welcome to the team. Jake and Ross, of course, we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. And then, of course, we had Robert on last week, and we hope to have him on a couple more times as the year goes on. And I'm going to get Chad scheduled and see how things are going in his walleye tournament world that he's got coming up. So that's kind of cool. Some cool things going on. All right, let's jump over to the chat section and see what's going on in the chat room over here. All right, let's see. Let's scroll back up. We got some congratulations. What do we got? Loving the Sharky 3 I just bought last week. Dude, the Sharky 3, Adam Kennard, I'm telling you right now, that Sharky 3, that wheel's been around for a long time. I nicknamed it the People's Champ years ago, and I got to be honest with you, it's still the People's Champ. We have got so many other great spinning reels, But if somebody was to go, well, I don't know if I want to try this one. I'm going to go on the tried and true Sharky 3. Ain't nobody on Team KastKing going to frown on that. That's a solid, great selection there. Let's see. Who do we got here? I fish ponds from the bank. You know what? I've actually, this weekend, I might actually go pond fishing from the bank. I've got a kayak. I've got my bass boat. But you know what? I adore some good old hiking around pond fishing. It's just part of the experience and love it, love it, love it. All right. How can we prove that we are pro? That's a good question. Well, so with that kind of a question, let's put that out there. I'm going to put that up there. Where is it? How do I get added to the pro team? Okay, so let's put that up first. Okay, so how can we prove that we are pro? First of all, what do you fish on any pro levels? Do you fish like in the National Professional Fishing League, like we see at the top of the screen? Do you fish in like the Wild West Bass Trail in Arizona? Do you fish in any of the Bass Opens? Do you fish anything at a higher level? And how well have you done? Things to also take note of if you're looking to ever become a KBA or a professional and represent any fishing company on a high level, definitely have to be able to prove that you are a pro, because in this industry, we all like to think we're great fishermen. We all like to think we're on a professional level. And I can definitely say that, you know, I could count myself as semi-pro, but I'd have to also prove that. Same things. So like if you're a professional fishing guide, that's one way to prove that you're pro, going out and taking clients, putting them on fish all the time. Top 20 finishes on big levels, top 10 finishes. Maybe you fish a lot of the smaller circuits and you clean house on that. You can actually contact KastKing through our, you go to KastKing.com and you look at some of the different sites. Let me go over here and I'll actually open a window and share some of that information for you. And this will work for the KBA stuff too. Let's go this way. And I will bring this up. So, okay. Now, so what we would need to do, let me go ahead and screen share here for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to drop this off. So the best thing to do, if you guys are looking to go pro or get noticed as to be a KBA, you can always go to About Us. So let me click on that. And then you can come in here, contact us. So you can always, as you can see, we have our 1-800 number. We have service at KastKing, and then you can send us a message right here. That's a great way to get started on getting into contact. And of course, it may take a little bit of time for somebody to respond to you, because believe it or not, there are millions of people out there who fish, and we get thousands and thousands of emails all the time. So it does take a little bit of time. Or you could contact certain people and get put into the know. So if you know people like I'm not saying every pro out there contact me personally, but I can help you, point you in the right direction and get there. I don't want to flood our phones with every person that's ever a pro looking for sponsorship. But it's definitely a great way to start. Definitely start here, get on file, send an email so we have a record to go back on, and then, of course, start getting in contact with us through like our social media sites. That's a great way to start. But make sure you have a resume that can actually prove. Most pros will have a resume to back up who they are, just like you're going into a job looking for a job and you are a certified electrician, or you're certified media department. You need to be able to back it up with credentials and things like that. So a great place to start, have a resume ready on what you've accomplished and who you are and things to that nature. And when it comes to becoming a KBA, you can always start over here, and there is a KBA. Let's see, where did they move it? You can come into and apply for the KBA stuff right here. So if you look over, you see the KBA selection right there. You can start going through those channels and fill out the paperwork to also become a KastKing brand ambassador and start seeing some of the different members that are on there and get that going. So that's a great way to start and a great question, guys. Thank you for that. All right, what else we got? What else we got in here? Valiant Eagle's my favorite. Nice. That's a great one right there. Marlon, if you join, you're sure we'll get thousands of viewers. That's fantastic. I hope so. Maybe I should have you on pretty soon. All right. All right. So, guys, we've got the spring fishing is coming around the corner. Now, I'm not sure what you guys do in the spring in your area, but you know what? In the comment section, do me a favor, write down what you're looking for when you guys go fishing in your area. Say, I'm in Arizona. Let me know that you're in Arizona and I fish with frogs in the spring, or I throw Texas rig, or I start with a jig, or I completely go bed fishing and I bed fish only, or things to that nature. I drop shot and then start moving up. I throw search baits, things like that. Let me know what you do in your area when the weather starts to warm up and what you do to start putting fish in the boat. For me in my area, I start looking for let's put this up here. I start looking for water temperature change. So right now we're just shy of 60-degree water temperature. And actually today's Tuesday. So the last time I looked, it was 58 degrees on my water temps on my home lake. I'd like to see it hit 60. Once I start seeing 60 to 65, I expect those fish to start roaming, to start moving up and staging, to start making beds. So I'll start throwing search baits and I'll start fishing anywhere from 15 to a foot of water, because you never know, these fish are going to be roaming, they're going to be moving, and they'll attack baits and vary from up to a foot of water all the way back to 30 feet of water. But I start looking for that 15 to 1 foot of water kind of stuff, throwing lipless crankbaits, chatterbaits, spinner baits, things like that. Some of you guys could be throwing like swim baits, glide baits, but for me, I'm going to be throwing a lot of shad or crawdad color baits, especially that red and black, kind of that fiery orange color baits, chatterbaits especially. We got some great, or bladed jigs. We got some great options in the KastKing family for those, and that's what I'm going to go after. Now, if I start to see these fish are starting to really move up in the shallows, anywhere between 5 to a foot of water, the good old Texas rig, I'm going to throw on some kind of a creature bait or a craw. Then I'll start experimenting. If I flip, and I see that those fish are there, but they're not biting, and I may scale down my presentation a little bit. Now, if I catch a couple fish, the first thing I'm going to do is look in their mouths and see, okay, is their mouth real red, like they're down and they're gorging on crawdad? If that's the case, I'm going to primarily focus on crawdad colored baits, whether it's the dark greens all the way to the fire and things like that. If I don't see that much, if I don't see, that red irritated mouth where they're just beating their mouth up, eating on the rocks, and then the crawdads are kind of tearing up their mouth a little bit, then I'm going to start throwing more of the shad color stuff and the search baits, more jerk baits, and try to catch them up on that. That's what I do to start going and just dial it in from there. But of course, that 60 to 65 degree water temp is key. And then of course, they start making beds, well, then it's game on. All right, let's take a look. AJ, which spring fishing almost upon us? What is going to be the first lure you put on the water? First lure I put on the water. Okay. So to answer that question, it's going to be a chatterbait and a Texas rig, brush hog, or like a Christie craw or a rage tail. Those are the first two I'm going to throw out there. I'll probably, almost guaranteed, like I said, have a lipless crankbait, maybe a spinnerbait also tied on. And then if things just get rough and they're not biting, I may revert back to a drop shot. That's where I'm going. What else we got in the comments here? What's up, AJ? Have you taken a break at all lately? Not really. No, I'm still going, still rocking and rolling. All right, KastKing showing up to MLF event in Tulsa, Oklahoma in March. Okay, so this is a great question. Ron Pastor, how you doing, Ron? I'm glad to have you on the show. Yes, KastKing will be showing up at Redcrest at Major League Fishing. And you know what? You guys, if you're going to be there, your old boy AJ Gore, Give It Away AJ, just might be there to say hi. And there's a very good chance you're going to see Brent Chapman and Cliff Crochet at that event. So if you guys are going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the end of the month in March, definitely make sure you come by the MLF Redcrest event, especially the expo, and come over to the KastKing booth and say hello, because we're going to be doing giveaways, discounts, and all kinds of great stuff. And you just might meet some really cool pros, just like Brent Chapman. All right. Fishing tournament at Saguaro. You know what? I haven't been to Saguaro in a couple of years. How's the fishing doing at Saguaro lately? What else do we have? All right. Why most of the spinning reels you have a high drag? Because a high drag is in high demand. A lot of people you hear that phrase, if you build it they will come. Well, a higher drag option lets you capture and catch high fish. So to be able to put a higher drag on there gives you a better option at a wide range of species. But just because it's got a very, very high drag up to doesn't mean you need to use that entire amount of drag. You can always loosen it up and let it slip, let it run. The smaller the fish, the lighter the drag, so on and so forth. But if you need to clamp it down and help, fight and give that slip so you don't break line and fatigue the knot and break, because your line's going to break at its weakest link, and it's primarily going to be at your knot, or if you frayed the line, and that's where you let your drag run to let that fish tire out, and then you can bring it to the boat. So if you do happen to catch that monster of a fish and KastKing's been sharing videos of giants that have been being caught lately on KastKing gear, well, that good quality drag is going to help you land that trophy 16, 17 pounder of a lifetime. So that's a great option to have a bigger drag. All right, what do we got here? I'm a professional boat sitter. You know what? I am a professional boat sitter too as well. That is a great one. All right, I just started fishing last year after being away for 15 years. All right. Okay, so I am just starting back fishing last year after being away for 15 years. What style rod do you recommend for the Zephyr reel? Well, that's a little bit of a tough question because there's some details I need to know. So, Mike, if you could respond in the comments, what Zephyr reel, that would be great if you could narrow that down for me. And the reason why I mention that is because with the Zephyr, you have the Zephyr actual bait caster that's for finesse fishing. You have the SFS, which is the spin finesse system, which is the very small fishing reel in a Zephyr. And then, of course, you have the black Zephyr, which is like your normal tried and true spinning reel in a Zephyr series that can be all the way up to, I believe, a 4,000 series. And then you have the Zephyr Carbon, which is a silver reel, and it's a very high-end reel, but it also can be offered in a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 series reel. So what Zephyr exactly is in question here? That would allow me to answer that question a little easier for you. AJ Gore, Mega Jaws Elite or Speed Demon Elite for frogging? Either. The Mega Jaws Elite is hoping to be released soon. The Speed Demon Elite is around, and it is a tried and true. It's a great reel. Either one is a great option for frogging. Either one. Me personally, if I was going to go with that Speed Demon Elite, personally, I like that 8:6 to 1 ratio. That's a great all-around ratio that you can use for frogging. Still very fast. Just under that 9:1 realm in an 8:6 to 1. You're almost right there. So that's a great option. Plus, it is still slow enough that you can slow it down even more and fish more. So I like that 8:6 to 1 for all around. You don't necessarily need that 10:5 to 1 for frogging, but it can be argued. Throw that frog in there, pop, 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 pop. Now, if you're going to pop that frog all the way back to the boat, then there's really not a whole lot of need for a 10:5 to 1. I like a 10:5 to 1 for flipping, so I can flip into the strike zone. If I'm not going to be in that strike zone, I didn't get bit, I want to get back and go into a new one, put it right back. That's, to me, one major reason why I love that 10:5 to 1. Then I can also multi-purpose that 10:5 to 1. I actually will use that 10:5 to 1 or 8:6 to 1 on buzzbait rods, and also I use that same buzzbait system, reel to sometimes throw frogs. So it depends, but for me, we don't have a ton of lily pads and things like that. So there is a huge area where I'll flip a frog in somewhere, but I'm not hitting it across grass and lily pads in Arizona. So that's a little bit of a different one for me. But you would be fine with that 10:5, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with that 8:6. I would go to the 8:6 just because I can use that one more for more techniques more often. What kind of frogs do you use? Well, there's a lot of frogs that I use, but there's some new things coming from KastKing and Mad Bite that y'all may want to keep an eye out for. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. What Zephyr do you recommend for jigging walleyes and also jigging for shiver minnows? The Zephyr Carbon series. It's our silver reel. Anywhere between a 2,000 to a 3,000 series. You're going to love it. Going to absolutely love it. It's fantastic. All right, guys. So we're coming on that 30-minute hour. Guys, if you guys don't know, we are going to be in the Bassmaster Classic this year, courtesy of Academy Outdoors. So if you guys are going to be in the area and you're going to be at the 2022 Bassmaster Classic, guys, you definitely got to make sure you stop by there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's going to be March 4th through the 6th at Lake Hartwell in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm sorry, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I just mixed the Red Crest. Sorry, it's in Greenville, South Carolina, the 4th through the 6th. And then, of course, we're going to be at Red Crest in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the end of the month. But if you guys are going to be in the Greenville, South Carolina area at the end of the month, or this weekend, sorry, geez, I'm all messed up. March 4th through the 6th, stop by the expo, the Bassmaster Classic Expo, and look for the Academy booth. It is going to be a mega huge booth, and KastKing is a part of the Mega Academy booth. And you're going to see some great brands in there. You're going to see KastKing in there. It's going to be lots of giveaways. There's tons of funds. I was a part of that booth last year with KastKing and courtesy of Academy. And I got to tell you, it was a great time. And over the 3-4 days that I was there, working back and forth between the Bassmaster Classic show as well as the expo, I watched Academy and KastKing and a couple of the other companies that were in the Academy booth, part of that giveaway. It's like a mega booth. It was just giveaway after giveaway after giveaway after giveaway. And it's just all day long for 3-4 days straight. Academy, courtesy of all the different brands that they brought in there. And they, of course, asked KastKing to be a part of that exclusive group. They just hooked the people up. So, guys, if you are going to be at the Bassmaster Classic this weekend, March 4th through the 6th, I'm not tongue-tied this time, make sure you stop by and get hooked up at the Academy booth. Now, as you can see right there on the screen, it's going to be booth 1320. That's the booth you're going to look for. You won't hardly be able to miss it. The Academy booth is going to be huge. There's going to be a big crowd around it. Lots of people are going to be getting hooked up, and that might just be you guys getting hooked up at the Academy booth. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for our show tonight. My name is GiveItAwayAJ, always hooking people up. Of course, as you can see, we got our Facebook winner and YouTube winners just cruising across the screen here. Guys, if you want to get hooked up and dialed in on all the different giveaways and discounts that we do weekly, and of course, at these different trade shows, and we do a lot of hookups at the trade shows, and that's not going to be any different at the Bassmaster Classic, March 4th through the 6th, Greenville, South Carolina, booth 1320. Get in the Academy booth and get hooked up by Academy, and you just might walk away with a rod reel from KastKing. Some great prizes from KastKing, from fishing line to reels to Mad Bite tackle to all kinds of good stuff. So, guys, make sure you check it out. But like I said, always be following us on TikTok at KastKing USA. Follow us on Instagram at KastKing USA, as well as KastKing Community, 2 different pages there, right here on Facebook. And, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you already know. Click that like, click that share. Make sure you smash those subscribe or follow buttons. And, guys, I hope I bring your name across the screen on our next giveaway. My name's AJ Gore, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday night.